In this example, what we're going to be looking at is our inquiry commands, which allow us to sort of find out areas and volumes and perimeters of certain objects within a scene. So what we'll start with first of all is the measure tool, and if I just click on the measure tool to begin with, I can very easily and very quickly specify 2 points just by clicking. And there you go, there's my distance, 58. You'll also notice that that value is down here in our command line, and I can always, if I need to, copy and paste that into a table. So do bear that in mind. That's why we keep the command panel up. If I click on measure again, normally most people would think that that would just be, oh, I'm just going to measure a line. But what I can do with this is I can right click. You notice we had the right click option just here, and I can say multiple points. So that can be my second point, and that could be my third point, that could be my fourth point. And you can see there that it was giving me the information in distance as I go along, and if I press enter, you can see there I've got my distance is 167. By the way, this is in millimeters, so just in case you were wondering, so that's 167 millimeters. I can also inquire as to the radius of an object. So if I select that object there, you see we've got radius come up as 17. So if I want to check the angle of something, I've got options here. I can check the angles of arcs or circles or lines, but really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this point here and click that second line, and you can see here we've got 131 has come up, and that's going to be our second, or our angle between those two lines. You can also do that as a, where are we, measure angle. You could do that as two lines, say here and here. Yeah. Or repeat measurement. Oh, let's just make sure I've got angle. Or we could do it as one angle there and another angle there, and that's saying it's 122. So it gives you kind of an idea of how things are working. Remember, all angles are measured in counterclockwise, so it'll go from this line through to that line. Yeah, don't forget that. I can also measure an area, and that can be done either by saying right clicking and saying object. So if I right click, there you go, there's the area of that rectangle, which is 176 millimeters squared. It's also given me a perimeter there, which is quite useful. But something else I can do with the area tool is I can actually just go around and click. Now if I click every single corner here, what this is going to do is this is going to give me the main mass area. Let's be a little bit careful about this. So there we go, there's the overall area that object is going to take up. And you can see here it's 27,583, which is again mirrored down here. Yeah, so that's very useful. If you want to sort of start working out what the area is going to be minus these objects here, what we have to start doing is something a little bit more complicated that we'll possibly come on to later on, where you actually have to join everything up and then you have to physically take these objects away, because at the moment what we've got is just separate lines. So these outside ones will need to be joined as polylines. You have to make it an area, and then you have to remove these volumes from that area. So it's a little bit more complicated. Also what we've got here is the volume, and that's really for the 3D side of things, because with the volume you need a Z height, and we are only working in 2D at the moment, so really we'll come on and we'll start worrying about that later on. But to be honest with you, really measuring distance, things like that, it really is that simple. It's just a click of the mouse there, and then we start to worry about which points we want to measure. Just 2 clicks, and there you go, we can get a distance. Very simple and very easy.